this is like based on what I researched. Like they usually like in Beirut, they usually had like 2 hours of electricity during the whole day. Like every day, just 2 hours of electricity. And this is because of like poor allocation of funds and a lot of corruption and a lot of all that. And the explosion itself being as bad as it was, and as much as much of like people who lost their lives and everything, like people actually got what they wanted, in the sense that the explosion actually was like some sort of catalyst that the government actually had to dissolve a lot of the departments, and a lot of the leaders actually voluntarily stepped down from their jobs because they were like, yo, this is a lot of backlash. And if they hadn't started this before, yes, maybe the government would have like swept it under the rug. Like maybe the government would say like, yo, this is like a terrorist attack, when it wasn't. It was actually a form of negligence. They had like 3 tons of nitrate just chilling in the port for like 3 years under poor conditions. And if they hadn't started all of this before, if the world wouldn't have actually gone back, because from the channels I researched from, like global networks, they were like going back before the explosion, and they were like, yo, these people have been crying for like better solutions for everyday life, and they've been crying for like better leadership. If it hadn't been that online, maybe this explosion would have just been swept under the rug. And that's why I feel like people need to share these hashtags. And I feel like, yo, it's important, because one way or the
I
other,
think
our
it's a
voices are
joint
being heard, even
effort.
if,
It's a joint effort.
yeah,
I think that we as humans are capable to solve all our problems on our own, but I don't think we are able to communicate.
exactly.
Like, I know a lot of people, like, as soon as
Yeah,
they try to like say something, there's always a counter to it. Especially on social media these days, as soon as anyone points out one
yeah,
thing, there's always a counter. There's always going to be someone arguing against it. If we could all like just agree and work together, a lot of our problems would be solved.
yeah, true. That's 100% true.
I think
Because,
that's the problem with Africa right now. There's like a campaign to like join countries to form a United States of Africa. Me personally, I don't think that would work. Like, I don't think there's too much cultural difference. There's too many political difference. And the Europeans, when they came here to Africa, they knew what they were doing.
yeah,
Like, have you listened to
yeah.
Distant Relatives, the album? Nas and Damian Marley.
I think I heard it at one point, but I should
Yeah, I think
revisit it and
everyone
actually
listening to
listen to it
this
properly.
should
But
give that
I
album
get
a
what you're
listen.
saying.
Because, like, religions, like the stuff that are, like, they say everything comes from Africa, like, civilization started in Africa. And in Europe and things, there were books, like, they used to write
True.
it down. Here it was word of mouth. You closest to the ancestors because the ancestors knew stuff before you, and they knew people who are wiser than themselves that they learned from. And so, like, Africa's
Yeah.
history is so deep. But what they did, like in America, for example, with the slaves, most black people in America,
Yeah.
they have no idea where they came from. Like, and then
Yeah.
have you heard Joe Rogan's podcast with Kanye West? Kanye West was saying that
Yeah. Yeah. I heard it.
yeah, he was saying that um, what they do, like Black History Month, shouldn't be a thing because all they do is put in your mind your ancestors were a slave, and that's not true. They, most black people in America don't know
True.
their ancestors. we
Yeah,
there's this popular quote, we are a species with amnesia. We don't know where we came from and we don't know where we're going. And like the point is just live like right
yeah.
now. What can you do to make the world that you're living in better?
Yo, oh yeah, yeah, that's a deep question, dog. What can
I
we do
don't
to
think
make the
there
world
was
a
a
better
question
place?
even.